In this video, we shall study one more type of vacuum pump, that is Orbitron pump. So, Orbitron ion pump uses only electrostatic fields to constrain the path of the electrons to provide long paths for more efficient ionization of the molecules in the gas phase. That means here only electrostatic fields are used. So earlier we have seen in sputter ion pump that the magnetic field was also used along with the electric field. But here in case of Orbitron pump, only electrostatic fields are used uh, in order to constrain the path of the electrons. And the kind of Orbitron pump or its diagram, it is shown over here in this particular diagram. So Orbitron gets its name from the nature of these electrons path. So the electrons which are produced here at the filament, the path of the electron is such that they are orbiting around this particular anode. So instead of directly striking on the anode immediately, they are orbiting, and this path is very long. So because of this orbital path along the length of the anode, the name to this vacuum pump that is given here is Orbitron pump. Okay, because of the orbital path of the electrons. So the electrons which leave the filament from this place cannot reach the outer wall of the pump, because the potential at this particular wall is negative relative to filament. So if you consider this particular outer wall of this container, so that is kept at the negative potential relative to filament. So these electrons, they will not attract, rather they will be repelled from this particular outer case of the Orbitron pump. So you can say rather this is the space provided for the motion of the electron, and this is actually the assembly of your Orbitron pump. This will be connected to the chamber, okay, the chamber that you want to evacuate. So the anode, you know that it is kept at a very high positive potential. Now you can see here to this anode, at certain places of the anode, titanium cylinders are fixed with this particular anode. Now the electrons which are attracted toward the central electrode, that means the anode, but as they leave the filament here, they receive a component of angular acceleration. Okay, so as soon as they are released here from the filament, so the filament is actually heated by some external low supply, and the electrons will be emitted. So as soon as they are emitted here, they receive the acceleration, and this angular acceleration, from which they gain appreciable angular momentum here. So this momentum here is angular momentum, and as they move towards the walls of the container, they will be repelled because of the potential at the negative potential at the walls of the container. Conservation of this angular momentum prevents the electron from moving directly to the central positive electrode. So instead of directly striking this central positive electrode here, they are continuously in a motion because of this angular acceleration, and they travel a very long path during this course of motion. So the geometry of the cell produces field which reflects the orbiting electron at the end of the structure. So the electron, when they try to move in this direction, they will be reflect back. So the electrons are effectively trapped. The electrons are effectively trapped, and they will be moving along this electrode in a orbiting path, and they can advance towards the anode only as they lose the kinetic energy. So if they lose the kinetic energy, then only they can, for example, this is orbiting, so later on it will lose its kinetic energy and finally it will strike on the anode, positive anode. Now during this motion, the electrons can lose energy by colliding with each other or with molecules or by interacting with the AC fields. So by three different ways, the electron can lose their kinetic energy. Either by having collision with one another, the electron itself collide with each other. Then the electron may collide with the gas molecule which you want to remove from the chamber. So when the electron collide with this gas molecule, what will happen? The gas molecule will get ionized. Okay, so positive, a pair of positive ion and electron will be produced. So this newly produced electron, if it doesn't have high kinetic energy, it will be attracted towards the anode. Okay, and if even after first collision the electron has sufficient energy, it will move further and it will undergo several collision before coming to rest because of loss of its kinetic energy and striking the anode here. This energy of the electron is continuously decreasing because of these three reasons. Now when there is a complete azimuthal symmetry of electrostatic space charge, these losses are minimum. So the space charge is developed. So newly produced electron, the positive ion and the electrons that is produced because of this filament here. So the because of the azimuthal symmetry of electrostatic space charge, the losses of the kinetic energy of the electron, they are minimum. Now due to non-uniformity, this form of energy loss is finite, and the fact that an electron current makes its way to the anode even at pressures below 10 raised to minus 10 torr. So you can use this orbitron pump for very high, ultra high vacuum. So the pressures even at below than 10 raised to minus 10 torr, the electron current makes its way to the anode. So that indicates that electrons lose energy by means other than by collision with the molecule. So most of the energy that is lost is because of the collisions with the molecule. Gathering action is provided in the orbitron by the sublimation of cylindrical chunks of titanium attached to the central electrode, that is anode. So at several places such titanium cylinders are placed on the anode. So gathering action will also take place. So what will happen? These electrons, some of the electrons, they accelerated electron, they will collide on this particular titanium cylinder, and this titanium will be sublimated because of this high kinetic energy of the electron received by the titanium cylinder. This particular titanium cylinder will sublimate and it will be deposited on the inner wall of this particular container. So it will act as a gator. That means the gas molecules present inside the chamber, they will react with this freshly deposited titanium, and thereby they will be captured. So gathering action is also provided. So simultaneously the ionization of this particular gas molecule as well as the gathering action here and freshly deposited uh, titanium, this process will continue, and therefore the evacuation of the gas molecule will continue here. Now the kind of potentials that are applied to accelerate the electron is of the order of 10 kilovolts, which is applied to these electrodes inside this orbitron pump. So the current which is required, so with such very high potential, 10 kilovolt potential here, so whatever the current required to impart several hundred watts of power to heat this particular titanium chunk, that is moderate area, because the electron will be accelerated, and whatever the kind of heat required to be generated, that will be provided by this uh, collision of the electron which are accelerated due to such high potentials. So based on the rate at which argon is pumped by an orbitron ion pump, the average length of the electron path is at least 10 meter. So this orbitron pump, it is very efficient for the pumping of argon. You know that these particular kind of inert gas molecules like argon, they are very difficult to pump, but orbitron pump helps us. So here first of all it will be ionized, and the uh, positive ions will be attracted towards this outer wall, and the titanium which is freshly deposited, they will be trapped here. The gettering action will take place. So the rate at which the argon is pumped by the orbitron ion pump, so the length of the electron path for effective pumping of argon, that should be at least 30 meter. So it doesn't mean that this length should be 30 meter, but this the orbital path of the electron, that should be at least 30 meter. So several such orbitals, they will constitute such a required length for the path. So the orbitron geometry is quite effective in providing generous ionizing means for facilitating the pumping of inert gases. So the pumping of inert gases is quite possible with this particular orbitron pump. So with the continuous supply of fresh titanium here, because of the striking of electrons and sublimation of this titanium cylinder, so freshly deposited titanium will be all available on the surfaces of this outer wall, which receives the ions. So there is no instability in the pumping of these gases as is observed with the magnetic type. So in case of magnetic type of vacuum pumps, earlier we have seen sometimes there is instability in the pumping process, but here that instability is not observed because of the continuity of the freshly deposited titanium. So in the larger sizes, one sublimator may serve several orbitron type of cells. So only one sublimator is also sufficient to serve many several orbitron type of cells. So such cell, they can be parallelly connected, and a single such titanium cylinder or sublimator, that is sufficient here. Now, the use of ohmic heating greatly improves these starting characteristics, because at higher starting pressures, it is sometimes difficult to impress sufficient voltage to the central electrode to achieve adequate sublimation. So there is a difficulty with this orbitron pump, that sometimes ohmic heating is required so that the sublimation of titanium will continue in the initial stages. Initial stages, what is the difficulty? Because of the high pressures. So starting pressures usually they are high when you start actual pumping. So sometimes it becomes difficult to impress sufficient voltage on the central electrode to achieve the sublimation, because the electrons will not be, if the voltage is not high, electrons will not be accelerated with high kinetic energy, and they will not strike the titanium cylinder with greater kinetic energy, and sublimation will not be possible in that particular case. So starting case, at the starting of this particular pumping process, sometimes ohmic heating of this titanium cylinder, so by electrical heating, electric supply can be provided, and electrical coil can heat the titanium cylinder. So in that process, the sublimation will continue initially also. So some commercial versions of orbitron ion pump use ohmic heating for the sublimation of titanium. So this is how this orbitron pump, it is one very important type of pump, and it provides a good mean for pumping of the inert gases, because especially we have seen earlier different types of vacuum pumps. So the pumping of this kind of uh, inert gas molecules, it is rather difficult. So orbitron pump is the best choice for uh, removing such inert gas molecule during the pumping process.